Now we move in our tour through the stances of prominent right-wing leaders, prominent Republicans, toward Ukraine, Russia's invasion of Ukraine. We move to DeSantis. And DeSantis has been super vague and hard to understand, hard to derive meaning from what he's saying about Russia's invasion of Ukraine. What's your stance? You're critical of Biden, but what would you be doing different? And we finally have a little bit more of an answer on that. Before we get to it, here's an example of the type of response that he would give previously that was kind of vague and pointless.
Things first, on the president's unannounced visit, is this a good move?
Well, you know, Brian, I'm reminded of when he was vice president. Obama and Biden opposed providing lethal aid to Ukraine during those years. And then I'm also reminded that I don't think any of this would have happened but for the weakness that the president showed during his first year in office, culminating, of course, in the disastrous withdrawal in Afghanistan. So I think while he's over there, I think I and many Americans are thinking to ourselves, okay, he's very concerned about those borders halfway around the world. He's not done anything to secure our own border here at home. We've had millions and millions of...
So you might remember when we went over that initially, saying, I'm reminded of the Obama administration not sending as much aid to Ukraine during that situation, and you're critical of that. So you're saying that we should be doing more now, which is what Biden's doing. He's doing a whole lot more, but you're also critical of that because our border. Okay, well, now we actually have more specifically what he believes. And he's folding. There's past segments of him being much more supportive of Ukraine, or past clips, I should say, of Ukraine in the past. And based on his past statements, you would think in this situation he would be supportive of Ukraine and helping and sending aid and all that so they can stand strong as they're doing. But because of the Tucker Carlsons of the world, we looked at Marjorie Greene in the past segment, Trump, and just this right-wing sentiment of, for whatever reason, because Biden's taking this stance, we have to take the other, or whatever it is. Now DeSantis is on board more explicitly. Here from the Washington Post, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is dismissing Russia's invasion of Ukraine as a territorial dispute and says protecting the European nation is not a vital U.S. interest, firmly putting the potential presidential candidate on the side of Donald Trump and at odds with top congressional Republicans. DeSantis delivered his foreign policy opinion in response to a questionnaire from Tucker Carlson, the Fox News host, foe of U.S. aid to Ukraine, and frequent critic of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, and Carlson read his statement on Monday night, and we'll read that part of it here. While the U.S. has many vital national interests, this is DeSantis, securing our borders, addressing the crisis of readiness with our military, achieving energy security and independence, and checking the economic, cultural, and military power of the Chinese Communist Party, becoming further entangled in a territorial dispute between Ukraine and Russia is not one of them, DeSantis said in a statement. So he's clearly saying we shouldn't be supporting Ukraine. And again, so often it's in the name of being for peace. Oh, I'm more for peace. Biden's not for peace, so that's why I think we shouldn't support Ukraine. But I'm waiting for an explanation for how allowing Russia to feel emboldened and more confident in an invasion like this, violating the sovereignty of Ukraine, trying to occupy another country for the purposes of bringing Russia back to its Soviet Union glory or whatever it might be, makes it less likely that more disastrous situations don't happen in the future. Russia doesn't feel like they should push forward, push further, or how allowing more Ukrainian citizens, more human lives to be lost because Ukraine doesn't have the support that they need, and Russia continues as aggressive as they've been, with the knowledge that the United States isn't supporting them in this hypothetical situation that DeSantis is pushing for. It just makes no sense, and it's really unfortunate to see, especially with someone who, I don't think he actually believes this, but he knows the modern right wing wants this. At least some of them. There's some within the right, by the way, who are supportive of Ukraine. That's should be recognized. This is not everyone, but a very powerful part. The driving core of the modern Republican Party, the Tucker Carlson ideology, Marjorie Greene, Trump, and now DeSantis, absolutely is pushing for a reversal of the United States' current policy towards Ukraine. And I do think credit should be given to Biden for doing a really good job of leading on this front, continuing with the support of Ukraine. And now it can seem to people, this is constantly brought up, like a lot of money and a lot of support, but in the long term, we will not regret setting the precedent that a country such as Russia cannot invade another country like this and aggress in a way such as this. And it's not just a territorial dispute, as DeSantis said. That's another dishonest characterization of this moment and downplaying it. Meanwhile, so many lives are being lost, so much devastation. And we absolutely should stand by Ukraine here until Putin realizes, and the one factor that would cause peace to be a reality in this situation would be him realizing Ukraine's just standing too strong, in part because of support from other countries and the courage of Ukrainians, of course, but the support matters as well. And we got to stop. Eventually, that has to be the realization. And we're not going to get to that by backing away and leaving Ukraine on their own. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before all the clips are uploaded to YouTube, plus get the full bonus show every single Saturday, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Luke Beasley. That's patreon.com/Luke Beasley. Link in the description.